Thank you for tuning in to the Natty News Daily podcast. This episode is brought to you in part by our sponsor, Core Nutritionals. You can check out corenutritionals.com for all your supplement needs and use code Natty News Daily at checkout to save 20%. Enjoy the episode.
What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Natty News Daily podcast. Unfortunately, James couldn't join us tonight, but we replaced him with the current WNBF Middleweight World Champion, Benjamin Schuster. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you.
Glad we could make this work. We obviously, under normal circumstances, would be dealing with a time change, trying to coordinate things with you being back home. So I figured, since you were still in North America, we could try to line this up a bit.
Yeah, I'm also glad, and I am right now at the hotel, and let's start the podcast.
Let's go. So obviously, this has been quite the season for you. Kind of tell us some backstory. You know, I wasn't familiar with you until you'd competed this year. I'm sure a lot of the listeners have followed your prep, and obviously we've promoted you on Natty News Daily every time you've competed because you've absolutely crushed it. So you're 21 years old and you're basically winning everything. So I'm going to give you the floor, man. Talk to me about what got you into bodybuilding and how you've climbed the ranks so fast.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate it. I started when I was 13, so I'm training about 8 years now, and I always was into sports, but different kind of sports, like playing soccer, basketball, swimming, different sports. Also, breakdance was one of my hobbies back in the days, and later on, when I saw a guy on a magazine, I was like, oh, I'm too small, and maybe I have to change my body a bit.
Yeah.
And that was the point of time when I started bodybuilding, and also started after a year more with the nutrition and stuff, and then getting more into the sport, also with the science and training. And I started competing 2017. There was my first competition at the GNBF, and I won the teenage class up to 18. Then I was 15, and I wanted to compete in 2020, but because of COVID and stuff, it was not possible. So then I had like 6 years of off season, and after last year and when I saw the Evo Classic, the fire in my body was burning again for competing, and so I started my prep in February, and then made different shows over the year.
Yeah. Are you coached by Daniel?
Yes, of course. Daniel Kubik, my coach. I also started the coaching just in this year. We started in February, and that's the point of time, where we have been working together.
Yeah. How big is bodybuilding back home where you are? Because just from the small selection of athletes that we've seen through, yourself and Daniel, Dirk, Patrick, like the talent coming out of there, like you guys are all fantastic athletes. Is bodybuilding big over there or no?
Kind of. I would say not that big as in the US.
Okay.
Because of Mr. Olympia, and the spirit is different in Germany, I guess, and but it becomes bigger and bigger. Like the past 5 years, it developed so fast, and I guess that's the reason why we got such good athletes.
Yeah, because you guys, You guys are a good bunch, that's for sure.
Definitely.
So let's go through the season. So first show, which one was that?
That was WNBF National, and we wanted to start it with like a kind of pre-show where we could see how I look between different athletes and how my conditioning is also at this point of time.
Yep.
And so it was not the main show. The main show would be the Evo Classic, which was 2 weeks later,
Okay.
about 2 to 3 weeks later. And yeah, but it turned out my conditioning and everything was already really good, and that's
Yeah,
the point where
you
I
looked okay.
want.
You looked all right.
Yeah, yeah. And there I became a WNBF pro,
Yep.
won my pro card, won the overall, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
I just prepared for the juniors and also saw my like I could place good between different juniors. So like the top 5 was in my mind,
Yep.
but that I also could do that in the men's class, in the open class, and also in the overall was just crazy for me.
So you go in hoping top 5 in the juniors and you come out winning the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
That's humble right there. I love it. Okay,
Yeah,
so first show, WNBF walks out with a pro card. Next show, Evo Classic, right?
yeah, Evo Classic.
So that
Also
was
really stacked. And they already had a qualification back in June, I guess, June or August,
okay.
and where they also decide between different athletes. So because many athletes wanted to compete there, so they have to select. I guess they cut down to 20 athletes per class.
Oh wow.
So um, so they have to sort out a bit, and that's the reason why like it was so stacked with very good athletes.
Yep.
Everyone, the conditioning was on point. Like it's crazy, and also with mass, the quality of the show was really good. And yeah, there I just started at juniors because we didn't could made crossover, and because I won juniors, I could stand in the overall, and that was the next overall I won.
And that was the
So
one that you sorry, Dan, go ahead.
I was saying, what is the qualification for standard for the Evo Classic? Did you is it sounds like you sort of have to apply for that? Do you submit photos? Like, how does that work? Walk me through that.
Last year, I guess, when the Evo Classic was the first time, they applied with photos. So you have to send
Yep.
pictures in the gym with a typical lighting there, and that was where they looked at. But this year they had a pre-show, like in a theater in Cologne, and it was like a real bodybuilding show, but just without tanning. So they looked at the athletes and with a real jury, and so with a real panel, and yeah, also with the same judging criteria,
Yep.
and then yeah, decided which athletes could made it could make it to the Evo Classic in October. Yeah, to
Yeah,
the main
so
show.
I think I remember seeing that or reading about that. It was almost like an elimination style, right? They would look at you guys and say, "Okay, you four, you're not
Yeah,
ready.
right.
You four, you can come." So, so did you do that? And they just kind of looked at you, and do you go through all the poses still?
Yeah, of course.
But it's not. There's no awards, right? It's just you can come ahead.
No awards. Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
So
right.
yeah. So they would have. So Dan, they would take all of them,
Yeah.
and the panel of judges would look and look and look and say, okay, like not yet. You can go. You can come. You can go. And then
Yeah.
obviously the Evo Classics, the actual competition.
Yeah, right.
And that
was also the time. Um, they first saw me. Also, my coach Daniel saw me the first time live because it's like online coaching, and
Yep.
we talked a lot and like sent photos. But it was the first point of time when Daniel saw me live in my prep and in my state of conditioning. And at this point, he was also really impressed and yeah, wanted to yeah, made it through the other shows even better with like elite conditioning and yeah, worked out pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, you could say that. That was the one that you beat Fabian, right?
At the Evo Classic, yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember, me and the guys talking about that because obviously Fabian's former, champion at Worlds. So to kind of
Yeah,
edge him out, then, we start thinking,
it
man,
was
this is impressive.
yeah, it was really crazy because as I told you, to the WNBF National, I already didn't thought I would make the overall, and then I knew I know Fabian and also in person, and know what he already achieved.
Yep.
So I didn't thought I would look even that good beside him.
Yeah.
So it was crazy also for me, like beating him in the show. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so then ANBF, that was next.
No, the INBA was the next show from
Okay.
like the European Championship. Yeah,
Which one?
where also Frederick Ibsen competed there.
I don't remember seeing that. Just a sec. I'm gonna pull up your Instagram. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I guess it's right up on my Instagram where I won my INBA pro card. Yeah.
Is that the photo from off stage with Daniel?
Yeah, right.
I think I do remember. I did see that. I don't know. I don't know if I saw stage shots either. I did see that photo though.
Yeah. I have to say that show was uh the less special from the different shows because of the organization and stuff. It was not that friendly for the athletes, and
Oh,
everyone was a bit upset of the show. Yeah, but an INBA pro card is also a cool thing, and it was also interesting seeing myself beside different athletes from different countries. That was the first show from where you can stand next between different athletes
yep.
from different countries.
Okay. So then after that was the ANBF.
Yeah, right. 1 week
Yep.
after also.
So then I got your Instagram up now. So now I'm gonna keep going here. So you did the ANBF, and that was you and Dirk were in that one. That was the one Dan and I watched the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And
that was a good show.
crazy.
What was it like having
really crazy?
What was it like
Yeah,
having a drone
because
flying around?
yeah, definitely, and yeah, also from the location, it was crazy because many people were coming, and the whole show was really big, and the organization was also really good. You could really compare it to the Evo Classic from the show character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
something
was
you guys
really
are doing right over there is just show quality and production quality.
yeah,
That the Evo Classic, like, I mean, putting us to shame in the States.
yeah,
Yeah.
the shows, that you did, um, the stage, like Dan said, the production, the quality, all your stage photos just they look really good. So
Yeah,
shout
definitely.
shout out to whoever's running those shows over there because you guys are doing a damn good job.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so
definitely.
that was another overall. So you're
Yeah.
undefeated. You're winning overalls
That
left
was
and right.
that was I guess the hardest show day for me
Okay.
because like 9 a.m. in the morning I was my first class, the juniors. Then about like I guess 6 p.m. was the crossover to the men's open bodybuilding,
Oh
where I
damn.
competed in middleweight, I guess.
Yep.
And then because of that and my win there, I also stand in the stand
Overall.
in the crossover. Yeah, in the overall. And from the overall, I went to the pro show afterwards. So like
Did you win the pro show too?
yeah, yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit,
Where
man.
with Dirk, yeah, yeah. But
Well,
I was
maybe if you weren't
at the
so
end
good.
with my body.
They're like, let's see if we can make this guy compete all day. He'll
Yeah,
never step. He'll be on stage the entire day. We'll see if we can get him off his game now.
yeah, yeah. Damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, the reason was I even not have thought I would make a pro card or get a pro card that early in the season, and the ANBF asked athletes from different federations if they would compete in the pro show, and
So just hold that thought for a sec. So does the AMBF accept anybody?
yeah, they
Okay.
invited the different athletes, like different pros and
It's like Mr. America.
like
Some of us are here.
INBA with an INBA pro card, with a WNBF pro card, and also DFAC pro card. So they bunched it all together,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, that was pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
because also the quality was
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. I think are you familiar with the Mr. America competition over here?
Not really, no.
So it's very similar that they'll accept pros from numerous organizations and try to see, who's the best of the best versus just having one organization with one group of
Yeah.
pros. They do an
Okay.
open invite. If you're a WNBF pro or a DFAC pro or whatever, you can come compete and let's see who's really the best. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's cool to see more shows do that because obviously there's so many different organizations, right? There's so much
Yeah.
division within our sport. So it's nice to see, Mr. America.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
also you like the best pros could stand next to each other. Like also
exactly.
Bada from the WNBF and like Doug Miller, who I
Yeah.
guess is from the INBA or also
OCB.
pro in a different OCB. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Different federation. Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. Okay, so wins again. Now we're at the WNBF Valhalla, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that was you were in the heavyweight, won that, obviously. For those listening, that's not surprising.
Should be implied at this point.
Yeah, yeah. So you win the heavyweight class, and then Dirk wins the lightweight, and then it's you two in the
Right.
overall. That was
Right.
that was cool because that was your second time going head to head this season, right?
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
And also at the ANBF, he was really conditioned at this point,
He was
and
peeled.
yeah, yeah, he was really peeled. Like his glutes has been insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I was really excited how it will look at the next pro show. Yeah.
Yep. Over these shows, are you guys doing anything as far as like different peaks, or are you just kind of like running the same protocol over and over again?
Interesting question. We like tried different styles of peaking, because it was our first season together, like
Yep.
with me and Daniel
Yep.
working together, and that's also the reason to get like experience. And yeah, we ran different styles, but I guess the best working was before the Evo Classic. We made a front load with like 4,000 grams of carbs. Yeah.
So
So like
in one day
so
or in
so run
multiple?
me.
no, not one day, like over
Uh,
4 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
I figured, but I wanted to clarify that. Gotcha.
Over
But yeah,
so
thousand calories a day.
no,
That's
1,000
a lot.
carbs, not calories.
Or 1,000 carbs a day. That's a lot.
Okay, so let's actually dig into that real quick. So did you do that? When did you do that to when the show was? So run me through maybe like Saturday to show day. What did that week look like?
Yeah. Um, I have to remember, like for the Evo Classic, the show was on Saturday. Um, so we had, I guess, 3 depletion days with very low carbs, about 50 grams per day,
Yep.
and that really crushed my body. And the next 4 days of the peak week, we started loading with like about um, 800 to up to 1,200, I guess.
Per day.
Yeah, per day.
So
Right.
you did that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then show day Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and on show day, like 2 to 3 meals, pre juniors, and
Yep.
then some carbs until the show in the afternoon.
Yep. Yep. What food selection wise, what were you eating on those days?
Mainly carbs, mainly rice, just rice, rice
Okay.
cream,
White rice.
rice waffles.
Okay.
Yeah,
No potatoes?
like no potatoes because Daniel didn't told me to do that.
Okay.
I know many athletes try that because also you get more satisfied because of the um, uh, amount of carbs and the weight which you get from one meal.
Yep.
But I didn't try that because like rice just got
Yeah.
good through my body, so
Yep.
the
Yep.
absorption was really good, and my digestion was yeah, pretty well, and that's the reason we
Yep.
just worked with rice, different
That,
kinds of rice.
that's a lot of rice.
Yeah. But
Uh,
I enjoyed every ounce, I would say.
after the 50-gram low days, I'm sure you did.
Was that your only
Yeah,
carb
definitely.
source, or was that your main? Did you do any fruit or anything like that? Any other
Yeah,
honeys
yeah.
or anything
Also
like that
fruit
too?
and some. Yeah, yeah. Also, yeah. It was
Okay.
a main meal, but also with honey, fruits, and some vegetables. Also, yeah.
Okay. And
Okay.
how many meals did you space that across? Because 1,000 grams of carbs is no joke. Did you up your meal frequency? Maybe split that up into 8 meals or something like that? Or how did you?
Yeah, in the diet, my regular meal frequency was about 4 meals, 4 to 5 meals a day, and on
Mhm.
the loading days, it was up from 5 to 7.
Yep.
7. That makes sense.
Yeah. Damn. That's impressive, man.
That's
cool.
a lot of food to put down.
Yeah,
But after those deplete days, it probably was great.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, and then the big finale. You come over for Worlds.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
We quickly touched on this before we come on. You had a 9 to 10 hour plane ride. What did you do over that plane ride as far as food and stuff like that? So Worlds was on, you competed on Sunday. When did you come to Seattle? Like when did you get here?
I arrived on Thursday.
Okay, so you had a couple days.
Like in the afternoon. Yeah. I had to also because like on Friday was already the registration and weigh-in. So that was the reason why I took the plane on Thursday. And
Yep. Okay.
Did you bring just a bag full of food then? And were you just doing rice? Did you just have Tupperware containers of rice? Like how did you logistically do that? Because that's a long trip. It's not like, I pack one meal or two meals, right? You got to pack multiple.
Yeah, definitely. I meal prepped already on Tuesday because I'm a student and I had like what you call in English. I'm not sure at this point. I had to work in no, I had to work in my university, and that's the reason why I already meal prepped for Thursday and made about 7 meals. Also rice pudding and the typical stuff.
Okay.
And it was exciting when I went to the airport because it's sometimes difficult at the airport, like with liquids.
Yeah.
And but they had a system where they checked my different meals, and they all went through security, and then I could take all my meals, and just then it
so they
was a
checked every
normal
meal.
loading day.
They checked every meal.
Not every meal. Like they had a machine where they checked the whole food. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Did you tell them you're like I'm a competitive bodybuilder, these are all my meals? Like did you give them that information and then they could just kind of, go through it really quick and say like, okay, he's not lying to us?
No, I didn't told that because in Germany bodybuilding is really small, as I told you, and like when you are in the US and at the airport and you tell them that, maybe they will remember because of different kinds of different people they already saw, but in Germany, I guess that doesn't work or help, so I told nothing.
Okay. All right, so you're here at Worlds. You're finishing the season, and you do it becoming a world champion. How did that feel?
Really, really crazy because I talked with Daniel. We made a plan of over the season for the different shows, and we never even thought that I would stand at the Iron Valhalla Pro. So it was a really quick or spontaneous decision to fly to the Worlds, and it was really stressful to get a visa for my girlfriend, and also with the planning of the whole travel to the United States. But at the end, it was the right decision, and I wanted it so hard that I had to.
Yeah.
And now I'm really happy that I made this decision.
No doubt.
Did you have any issues during that travel period and that week with how your body looked? We talked about the food side, but like with how your body looked and you know, you were very lean, obviously had been very, very lean for a fair bit of time, and then all that travel and this last minute trip and figuring out your stuff with university. Did you notice any issues with the peak, like any days for like, oh, I'm holding a lot of water and had to get, you know, not get that off, but like allow yourself to de-stress or anything like that?
It was really crazy before the Worlds, because in the peak week, when we depleted over also 3 days, about 3 days,
Yep.
um, my weight was about 5 days right at 82 kilograms, and it wasn't falling, it wasn't going upwards. So that was new for us both, so for Daniel and me. And also when I arrived in Seattle, the conditioning was pretty good. So nothing like water under the skin or something. And the crazy part was that the day when I traveled was already my first loading day. So I had about 900 to 1,000 grams of carbs. And the next day I was half 0.5 kg lighter than the last day. So
Wow.
that never has happened over the season. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, your body clearly needed it then. It probably was just processing it like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So kind of walk me through your experience at Worlds, off stage, on stage. You know, obviously this is your first time there. So what was that whole experience like for you?
It was a damn good experience. So already arriving at the United States, we had like because of Dirk, who already went to the United States, and also the WNBF Germany team, we wrote a lot before Worlds. So what we could do for the organization on show day and stuff, and they helped me that I could like made it to the registration. And because of driving, and Seattle is really big also, like you have long roads, but our hotel is right over the street to the event center from the Worlds, so that was really easy for me. And the night before the show, me and my girlfriend made the tanning the first time ourselves, because the other shows I had Daniel who was making it, and we was excited how it will work, and it was really good. It was really, really, really good. So my girlfriend made it good darkness.
Yeah.
So
What product were you
in
using?
the top 10, the typical top 10.
Is that what Fabian uses too? Because I know a lot of, I know he said he used a different product. Is that the same product he used, a different product, or?
I'm pretty sure he uses also top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It usually looks good when you guys do it, for sure. Okay, so then you are in the middleweights with Frederick.
Yeah.
You two were going head to head. Some of the photos of you two together, holy smokes. Like, talk about, you know, world quality athletes there, right? You know, we were watching the live stream, and man, I wish I was there live to see it. But you know, you two going back and forth, you know, Dan and I were messaging, and we were kind of hemming and hawing of who was going to take it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really crazy. The judges also in the overall made many changes from the
Yep.
positioning,
Yep.
and they told us that it was close. So it was not a point decision, like, but they had to change us many times so
Yep.
they could get enough looks at
For
the
sure.
different parts of bodies
Yep.
and make the right decision. Yeah.
Yeah, the overall between you, Dirk, and
Right.
Brian, like it was competitive. You know, you could make a case for the three of you winning in some regard. You know, at that point, at that level, the judges are trying to find flaws in three world-class physiques, right? Which is not an easy task. And that's why, like you said, they had you guys moving around all over the place. So this judge could see you from this angle and this judge could see you from that angle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, it was awesome, man. And obviously for you, a beautiful way to finish out a very, very strong season. I mean, outside of that overall, you were undefeated this year, correct?
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
It was
Wow.
yeah. If we go back a step to the middleweight where I won the class, it was also really close with Frederick Ibsen, who's a damn good athlete also. It was really a fight, and when they called the numbers, the first thing I thought was that I was the second place. And then he walked through the line in the front, and I realized, what? Oh, damn.
They announced second before
crazy.
first. Versus a lot of shows are announcing, first place. So your winner is, So they threw you off there.
That's amazing. Yeah, man. I mean, well deserved, clearly well earned. I'm curious, what is next for you? Do you have, you mentioned you were in school, so do you have a couple of years off? What is the next step for you?
Yeah, so the next step is off season. So also the next year I will definitely take the off season to build up, enjoy time in other parts of your life.
Yep.
And becoming better. I'm hungry and I want to achieve another good placing in the future. But I guess the next year when I will compete, maybe 2025, but not earlier. Yeah.
Yep, that's smart. Really, I really want to give you some kudos to mentioning enjoying other areas of your life. I think a lot of bodybuilders struggle with that. And, for you being so young to already have that mindset of, I've spent my time focused on bodybuilding and now I'm going to obviously still bodybuild, but I'm also going to put effort into, you mentioned your girlfriend and family and work and school. Because that is that's all still very important, right? So, I commend you for having that mindset. That's really important, man.
Yeah. At this point, it's a question what comes up to me. What you guys would suggest me to do in the future? So, what kind of shows or where do you see me in the future?
I mean, obviously at Worlds, you're not, you're realistically, you're one place away from becoming, an overall world champion. I would love to see you come over here and do Mr. America. I think that would be cool. Like we said earlier, it's similar to the ANBF where you can just, any athlete can jump in. And I know, like, we're pretty close with the guy that runs it, and I know he's really hoping to get some more international talent to come over and compete.
Yeah.
This year was a good lineup. Last year, there was Bada, and there was some other world champions all in the mix, which was cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know schedule wise how easy it'll be for you to line up, but I would love to see you on that stage. Worlds, obviously. Do you have any inclination to go through the INBA and try to go to the Natural Olympia? Has that crossed your mind at all?
Crushed my mind because also I looked at the different photos, and also from our coaching team, one athlete went to the show, I guess. So I have to talk to him again how it was and how his experience at the Mr. Olympia was. So it would be an option.
Yeah.
But I already also talked to the WNBF, and there are also pro shows all over the world, like in
Yep.
Dubai, in
Yeah.
Asia, in different countries. And it would also be interesting, I guess, to like try different pro shows in different countries also.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure, man. Like if you have the opportunity to go to those, Dubai puts on a fantastic event. If that's easy for you to get to and compete at, make some money, go for it.
Yeah,
Nothing
right.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Before we kind of wrap this up, do you have any, for the off season, is there certain areas you guys want to focus on your physique, or is it just continue building everything?
I guess the most important thing is to get more mass overall,
Yep.
like in every body part. I already the vice president of the WNBF talked to me after the show, and said to me that just my quads could take a little more sweep, and then I would get more like the X frame.
Sure.
And that would be a good point for my whole physique, and maybe in the future that will gives me more to be competitive between other athletes and also the heavyweights.
Yeah. Yep. Take out the big boys.
Right.
I love it. Awesome, man. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. And tomorrow you fly back home, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
Safe
afternoon, yeah.
safe travels, and hopefully you don't got to slam a bunch of rice on that plane ride home. I'm sure this one will be a little more relaxing.
He's got a plate full of cookies, a bag full of cookies, probably. I saw you doing the reviews.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
tried so different restaurants here. It's amazing. The
Yeah.
food, yeah.
You Americans could do junk food. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That was also the reason why I had to fly to the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And stick around an extra couple days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. If people want to follow along, man, where do they find you on social media?
Yeah, at this point of time, just on Instagram, Benjamin Schuster, like unterstrich. I'm not sure how you call it in English. Yeah, underscore.
Yep.
And yeah, but in the future, maybe also I will make YouTube or stuff. Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, for sure, man. Awesome. All right, people. Well, if you enjoyed this episode with Benjamin, let us know. Obviously, show him some support, show him some love on social media. You got his handle there. We appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.